Good day and welcome to the segments of PoliTV Show, Newspaper Review and Analysis. I am Samuel Olaniyan. And today on Newspaper Review and Analysis, we have some national dailies that we'll be looking at what happened and the major stories, analyzing what happened on the front page of those newspapers. And this morning, I'm being joined in the studio by Mr. Simon Fakeye. He is the publisher of Result Times and also a public affairs analyst. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning. Pleasure meeting you.
I'm sure you had a very wonderful weekend. A lot to the third place finals and also the AFCON final. How was it?
All glories and thanksgiving to God.
All right, so let's get straight to business. So we have with us the Nation newspaper. First, I'll be looking at the Nation newspaper. And on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning is recapitalization. 20 banks in race to escape CBN hammer. Recapitalization, 20 banks in race to escape CBN hammer. I think there's this report concerning the 1 trillion economy drive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And a lot of banks were giving deadline on, I think, is it March 30 or so, on meeting the new recapitalization. So far, I think some banks have been able to do fine. But do you think we might be having some major, or what is your take?
Yes, there is possibility of the merger you talk about because some banks, I think there are some in the offing. They are going on, the negotiations, discussions, and all of that. So we hope others will comply. But as far as the 20 banks is concerned, I think we are having it good this time around. The implication for Nigeria economy and for Nigerian masses, African Nigerians, is encouraging. Yeah, it will definitely boost Nigeria economy, and it will encourage foreign investors once our banking system is stabilized. A situation where we have enough banks which have reliable capital, that will boost our stable banking system. Yes, it will. The implication is that those banks will be able to afford, to provide safety for customers' money in case of any financial problem or financial distress. So unlike what is obtainable some years ago, where a bank will have problem and customers will not be able to retrieve their money, although that was the reason why NDIC was introduced, and they have been doing well concerning refunding customers' money. But now that we are having up to 20 and more to come, it's a glad tiding for Nigerians and the Nigeria as a whole and the citizens.
All right, thank you for that insight. Still on the Nation newspaper, ICPC files charges against Ozekome over ownership of Hussaini's UK house. ICPC files charges against Ozekome over ownership of Hussaini's UK house. This report, from what we have on the front page of the Nation, according to Mike Ozekome, that's the popular son, it says, I got disputed property as gift for election petition cases. So how did we get to this stage where rather than paying you money for your service, you got a whole house in the UK?
Well, it is an interesting news item. In the case of having somebody like Professor Mike in the situation, it's a legal luminary. It's very fast in anything that has to do with Nigerian law and constitution. So I respect him a lot. So for him to find himself in this situation, I'm not happy. But whichever way, he has provided a defense, which I think in the coming days, let's see how things unfold. Because I believe maybe there is a lacuna in the constitution or in our law that we allow or accommodate such excuse or defense.
Such gifts.
Such gifts. A situation where a lawyer can accept assets in place of monetary value. So I'm not that sounding when it comes to law. I don't know much about it. But as I said, as things unfold, the Prof. Mike will have to provide more information, shed more light into this. And Nigeria Court of Law will also do the same to enlighten the general public on what is obtainable when it comes to legal aspects in terms of collecting assets and all of that. But there's an aspect there that calls for concern. That for Professor Mike to accept that asset, he allegedly has to do a kind of maybe illegal. I mean, specifically, there was an allegation of forging a passport document.
Yes. According to the immigration service.
So, for him to be able to retain that property, so that is call for serious concern. I want to be sure. I want to believe that it is not so. If it is so, then hey, there's problem.
He has to face the consequences.
Yes. So, but let's see. I still have that the kind of benefit of doubt for the legal luminary. Let's see how he can prove his case and come up with something reasonable that Nigerians can continue to contain or accommodate their confidence in him.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And now to the world of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. 2027 presidency. Debate over religious balance on Tinubu's ticket hot up. And it has the rider that says, Northern leaders rule out Bishop Kukah, say is politically exposed. X-ray General Musa and Yil Wida. These are conversations surrounding the President Tinubu's ticket. One thing for certain is that Tinubu is coming back for a second time. I think that's something that's certain on APC. But what is not certain as we speak now is the vice presidential slot. What is your own take or advice or as regards the VP slot for President Tinubu?
Yeah, let me start by saying we have to thank Nigerians for accommodating the Muslim ticket for at least going to 2 or 3 years, and at the end of the term, it will be 4 years. So it has worked for us. There is improvement in all across all sectors. So good for us. But going forward for this second term, it seems people are not going to be comfortable with that. They want a balanced system whereby we have president as Muslim and Christian as vice
considering
president.
The US and then the issue of religious
yes. You know, this is internal thing. Yes, Americans can come in, they can provide suggestion or encourage us to do one thing or the other. But it's what matter is what we are comfortable with here.
Of course.
Yes, it has been done. We are managing a Muslim ticket. Yeah. So coming by 2027 now, Nigerians are clamoring for a balanced system, a Christian and Muslim. Now, concerning the names that has come up, General Musa, the present, I think, chief of defense staff. Yes. Yeah, I think if Northerners really want a peaceful geopolitical zone, they should opt for, I suggest they opt for General Musa. In terms of providing a stable environment in that axis. He's an expert when it comes to Nigerian security. And he has proved it for us. He's in the system now. So for him to redeploy, let me put it that way, to become the vice president, he will have more to do. And the North can be, they will derive benefit. It is going to be to their advantage if they can go for him. Then the issue of the
Bishop Kukah.
No, Bishop Kukah. Yes, as for the Northerners' opinion, they are right. The bishop have been in the system for so long. fighting for the interests of Christians, and very outspoken. I know him to be a very good friend of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. So maybe if someone like him come into the system, it can serve the interests of the president. Maybe President Obasanjo can now see that, okay, we have a stabilized system, whatever. But since the people have come up with an opinion that is not favorable to him, I think they should come out, they should prefer, they should go for another person.
Okay.
It is not controversial that Kukah is political somehow. It's partisan. Let me put it that way. Okay. So now they mentioned General Musa and Professor Yiwada. Okay. Going by the background and history of Professor Yiwada, I think he's the present ruling party chairman.
Okay.
He replaced Betta Edu, who was the minister for
was it Women Affairs or something?
Women Affairs and Poverty, something like that. So he has performed. Now, as the party chairman, he's doing well. Going by his background, he's a technocrat, and he can. I think Northerners would like to prefer someone like that who is not so much partisan, so he can serve their interest already in the system to protect the interests of the party and his people. And when you look at from the place he comes from, is from that where a kind of middle belt where there have been tension. So just as General Musa from the north, then Professor Yiwada can also understand the terrain, understand the plight of the people, and try to find a lasting solution. So it will, those two names will serve the northern people better if they should select any one of them or choose any one of them to become the vice president.
Okay.
So,
but let me find out from you. Do you see the possibility of having the North presenting a Christian candidate? Do you think it's something that is possible? Probably on the other parties or something also.
Yes, they may not like it, as we know, but they have no choice as far as unity of the country is concerned. Especially, so if they, as I said, they don't have choice. So the worst they can do is to choose a reliable Christian from among them.
As vice president.
As vice president.
I'm talking about the presidency itself.
The president.
The possibility of them presenting a Christian Northerner.
As for presidency,
exactly.
No, they wouldn't want to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, the elites, the Netherlands, the policymakers would prefer President Tinubu to complete his 2 terms.
Okay.
So that going forward, a Northerner will come as president. They wouldn't like to interrupt the system. Yes, that is what I know them for. Although there will be other agitators who may want to disrupt the system. No, but the core North, the policymakers will not want to do that. They will prefer President Tinubu to finish his 2nd term, then come up with, as the rotational thing, if now go back to the North. So that is, when you remember what happened when there was issue on whether to vote for President Tinubu during late President Muhammadu Buhari. I think there's Nasir El-Rufai, no. Was it not El-Rufai?
Okay.
This former governor, Kaduna State governor.
That's Rufai, El-Rufai.
El-Rufai, yeah.
El-Rufai.
He came up live on the television and said, he said, Northerners, I quote him, we recognize agreements. We are not like that. That was his statement. We are not like that. That it is the turn of the South and we must support them. So that is the mindset I have about the Northerners. This time, they will support President Tinubu to complete his 2nd term. Then the rotational thing continues. It will now become the turn of the North. So for the vice president, as was said, they have no option than to support a
Christian
Northerner.
Okay. I'm still on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. 7.5% VAT. Customers want CBN to caution banks over exploitation. There's this back and forth concerning the Nigerian tax policy and then tax system. And I think later today we have a guest discussing more on the aspect of the VAT and but I want to ask you, do you think this 7.5 is on a huge side for Nigerians,
Well, the last time I heard about this 7.5, I think what I understood was that it is not a continuous thing. It is not from the purse of the customers, but it is going to be from the, I think once that payment is done, it will be deducted from the bank's account, not from the customers. That is my understanding. Maybe I have to do more research about that.
Okay. So let's move away from that story to the Guardian newspaper. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, it says, World Bank, large-scale rural road investment, key to Nigeria's food security goal. World Bank says, large-scale rural road investment, key to Nigeria's food security goal. Do you quite agree with this?
Yes, now we all know road network is of that important when it comes to the rural development. Without road, there's nothing. And that is the route by which farmers get their products to market. And it is from the markets that Nigerians will have to buy. They move to urban cities from the locals. So that is sacrosanct. There's nothing we can do about it. Especially state and local governments. They have to prioritize road networks, the local roads, for farmers to be able to move their goods into markets. That will ease the price thing, this inflation. It will reduce it. So without road, though there have been problems, our farmers are suffering. And the import is that we have high cost of commodities in the urban areas, and it creates or enables unnecessary inflation that generally affects the country, the nation's economy.
Okay, I want to find out from you. There's this general opinion of, I think, classification of roads. You have the state roads, you have the federal road, you have the local roads. And then most time you observe that state governments would wait for the federal government to come and repair certain roads because they feel like it's not their own duty to do. Do you think it's something that should continue in our nation? When you have to wait for, because looking at this kind of story now, imagine you have a case where a road that leads to the farm, and then farmers need to take food from the farm to the to the cities and to the town, but those roads are not within what they can actually repair, and then the federal government, they need to wait for them to come and repair it. What is your take on that, sir?
No, recently, federal governments have allowed some state government to take over some of the trunk A roads. But the challenge there is that some of these state governments or governors will inflate the cost of rehabilitating those roads and be asking federal government to pay what it does not consume. That is where the problem is.
So it's about the inflation now.
It's about the inflation. So the federal government are now saying, wait for us, we are coming. Because if we are to spend 2 naira, you come up with 10 naira. How are we going to afford it? It has happened even in Ogun State. But we appreciate, we have to thank or commend the Minister of Works, former Governor Umahi, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Dave Umahi, for granting our state governor, Ogun State government, the right to rehabilitate some of the road, especially the Abeokuta Lagos road. Unfortunately, since they've been granted the right to do it, the rehabilitation is dragging. And some of us has complained, but the response from the government was that those agitators are being prompted by opposition. But the fact remains that the construction is dragging. So recently I read in the news that government said those rehabilitation or the construction should be done in the night to stop or end unnecessary traffic on that road, especially at Kpakpa, Songo. If any during the weekend there are. So, as you said, we have to consider the plight of the federal government, the challenges that these state governments pose before them. When they do it, they inflate the cost, and the government has problem. That being so, I think we have to urge federal government to always attend to bad roads. I mean, the federal roads. I think there was we have, what is the name of this ministry that is in charge of road maintenance?
Is it FEMA?
FEMA.
Okay.
Maybe we should say that FEMA is not alive. Whether we should say they are not functional, I can't understand. There are many bad spots on our federal roads that need their attention. I think we all know, we learn that prevention is better than cure. Maintenance of these roads is very important than coming to repair it. So now we have roads that with big potholes. We have roads that doesn't have drainages. So we have roads that our trucks, heavy trucks are plying, and NIMASA, what do we call FEMA, refuse to do the needful in time. A station in time, they say, saves 9. So if FEMA should be proactive, they will be able to reduce all this unnecessary traffic on our roads as a result of bad roads. So before we blame federal state government for inflation or inflating the cost of rehabilitation, we have to blame FEMA for waiting until those bad spots begin to cost life, to create unnecessary casualties, accidents. Look at the recent issue where a truck fell onto, so it's discouraging, it's destabilizing. We have to encourage FEMA to be proactive to its duties so that state governors will not be agitating and will not have costs to inflate the cost of rehabilitation or construction.
All right, thank you, sir. So straight to the world of Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story on the front page. It says NEF opposes location of National Gold Refinery in Lagos. NEF opposes location of National Gold Refinery in Lagos. I was wondering, Lagos State doesn't appeal to me to have gold. I know of Osun State and some other states. So probably that might be one of the reasons there's this opposition to having a National Gold Refinery. What's your take, sir?
Well, maybe I will have to do more research.
Okay.
Up till now, I don't know of any place in Lagos
exactly
that gold had been found. So I don't. Yes, for my understanding of the terrain now, I don't believe until I do more research to be sure that they found gold in Lagos.
All right. And quickly to the world of Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard News, quite interesting story. Okay. Rivers crisis, I am still governor. Fubara. And then it has this writer that says, regret current political crisis in state, you must protect Fubara. That's according to the INC. It tells APC, lawyer threatened lawsuit against Rivers Commissioner for Justice. What is your one cent on this?
The governor is a lucky one. He's fortunate. Yes, he's fortunate. He can say that 1,000 times. That is a governor. He remained a governor. You know, the variables really favored him. The lawmakers, the judges, don't let me include the judge now. The lawmakers have committed a blunder. Yes. There is this, there's this issue of ultimatum that they have missed. They have missed it. So the governor cannot be impeached anymore for now, unless they raise another 7-day ultimatum, which is not likely to come again. So Governor Fubara remains the governor. But I will repeat my stand, my opinion on this issue. Whatever favor, whatever grace come his way, he should retrace his steps. He should recognize the goodwill of his godfather. He should tender apology. Whoever promises him all these good tidings, all these favors and all of that, that person will in turn collect something from him. He must sacrifice something. And that, whatever he's going to sacrifice, if he can conscientiously weigh it side by side, but with what his godfather is asking for, if there's going to be difference, the difference will just be, it can only be minimal. 35% and other things. Now, he must pay something for this backup, for this support. He must pay something. Don't forget the newly found bride now, or spouse, the APC. At the national level. They will eventually collect something tangible from him. So he should remember that wherever this thing takes him now, in the next 4 years, he's coming back home. If eventually he's given the second time, which I'm not sure of. Yes, I want to maintain that it's likely he becomes the scapegoat, the sacrificial lamb. Yes, he will end up this 4 years, no doubt. Yes, all the variable favored him. There's nothing we can do about it. But the next 4 years is in question. Okay. And his reputation in the days after he must have left that place is another issue. He must consider all these things and try to settle with his oga, the person who make him, he remain his oga. He's the man who make him the governor now. Yes, God will do it, but he will use somebody. We all believe that this thing will not come from heaven. Exactly. Whatever Wike must have done to him, he should just think twice, retrace his step. God is God of appreciation. The Bible I read told me that there was a time Jesus healed 10, are they not blind people? Okay. One of them came to say, Oga, thank you for returning my sight. Right. Jesus, the Son of God, that was made of spirit, not of our own flesh, ask him, where are the other 9? So, there must be a sense of appreciation, regardless of whatever follows.
Finally, on the Punch newspaper, let's look at a story that says, drama as Senegal beats Morocco to claim AFCON title. The Punch newspaper, drama as Senegal beats Morocco to claim AFCON title. I think a lot of Nigerians will say, this is karma. Because many Nigerians were expecting Senegal to beat Morocco at the final. I supported, I don't know about you. I want to believe you also supported.
Yes.
So what's your take on? I don't know if you watched the match.
Yes, I didn't. Okay. But I've read some things about the story, the good news. Yes, it's good that Senegal beat them because they are not so good, from my own opinion. Morocco is not that super good. But it is unfortunate we are having an AFCON of that standard. CAF have to tender apologies to other African nations who participated in that tournament. We have to blame it on Nigeria. Nigerians, you see, Senegal knows they are right. Nigerians didn't. And as I said the other time, why I wouldn't blame Morocco or the referee for whatever atrocity they committed. We have to blame Nigeria coach and the players. When you look at their movement, the pace at which they move on that pitch, it tells that it's either they are weak or the so-called voodoo is worked on them. It's either of the two. I don't want to believe the third reason that they sold off the game. No, they might not. but they did not move. Now, they were sluggish. If sluggishness was the problem, what was the job of the coach? When he replaced Bashiru, his movement differs. He has that fast movement. 2 times, Osimhen created space at the back of Moroccans, and you can see that open. The place was wide, telling us that the defense was not that good. But because our attackers could not move, the midfield collapsed because Iwobi could not
Move at their pace.
Yes, he could not make good passes to our attacking. So the coach should have studied that and do something. But for his failure to do that, I blame the whole thing on him. He has performed, no doubt.
Of course.
So, except we agree that it was a fudu that worked on them, a likely situation where the handkerchief that Nwabali, our goalkeeper, collected from the coach was taken away from the goalpost side where he placed it. So that could tell us that something, the people were that desperate. But whichever way, we've won the bronze, yes, the 3rd place. Comparing our team with the Senegal, it means we don't have that good with the fighting spirit. Yes, we lost it for Morocco. Nigerians should have won it. If our players had imbibed the same spirit with Senegal, we should have come home with the trophy.
Let me say thank you for coming to the program today, Mr. Simon Fakeye.
Thank you
so
too.
much. And I want to congratulate the Super Eagles of Nigeria for the 3rd place finish at the AFCON 2026. I'm still Samuel Olani. We'll still have more for you on Poly TV Show. We'll be right back.